And tonight we're launching a new Friday night panel that we call the Sleep In Sunday panel. And we're going to give you all the hard-hitting political news on Friday night so you can enjoy the weekend, get a few more hours sleep Sunday morning. And joining us tonight, he has been a campaign consultant for over 30 years. Democratic pollster Doug Schoen is back. He is a Fox News contributor. The one and only Tucker Carlson is here without a bow tie. And she's the national security and Pentagon correspondent for the Washington Times. Sarah Carter is with us. And you gave up the bow tie a couple of years ago.
Many years ago. I joined the mainstream.
Okay, is that right? Well, guys, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. All right, let's start the President's Town Hall. By the way, if they would have had the confetti and the balloons, it would have been, you know, a convention. I mean, everybody standing. One guy mentions the NRA. 3 people clapped in Montana. But let's watch him again attack Fox News.
I believe in our Constitution, and it's a very important thing. I also get my news from the cable networks because I don't like the spin that comes from them other places.
Oh, you gotta be careful about them cable networks, though.
You can't tell us how you're going to pay for this. You're saving here, you're saving over there, you're going to take a little money here, you're going to take a little money there, but you have no money. The only way you're going to get that money is to raise our taxes. You said you wouldn't.
Look, you are absolutely right that I can't cover another 46 million people for free. You're right. I can't do that.
Oh, that was one truthful say. Can we all agree on the panel? Does anyone disagree that this was a well-choreographed, you know, ticketed event? They handed it out to their supporters. You agree, Doug?
Absolutely. It was well choreographed. They were on message, and they managed to lower the volume for today. But as you heard, Sean, the president didn't have a good answer to that question. And what's driving public opinion is not outrage and venom, but it's rational people with real concerns about the role of government and the cost of government.
Then why, Doug, and we've been friends a long time, and I think you've been trying to warn your fellow Democrats, why are they referring to people showing up at these meetings as political terrorists and mobsters and you know, Nazis and swastikas and brown shirts and
Sean, it is tragic. I will give the president credit for this. He is at least trying to lower the tone and the rhetorical excess, because bottom line, Sean, it's un-American to engage in that kind of division and hate, because we all are Americans and we all want to work together to solve problems.
These little old ladies and veterans, Tucker, you know, being called un-American by Nancy Pelosi.
Well, the conspiracy theories that are rising are the ones that amuse me most. There are 2. One, that this is all, these town hall meetings are somehow being infiltrated by industry, opponents to the plan, and they're shills, basically working on behalf of trade groups, most of which actually support the plan or have remained mum on it. So that's absurd. Or it's the Republican Party, which all of a sudden has become incredibly organized. Or a party that couldn't organize my 8th grader's birthday party, all of a sudden is able to, you know, rally these unseen forces to derail the health care plan. I mean, it's absurd. This is a real grassroots
It's
movement.
organic. This is real.
I mean, this is a grassroots movement. This is town hall meetings have occurred for hundreds of years in this country, since the founding of this country, and it's insulting. And I think the American people are insulted when they're attacked and when they're treated like they don't understand what's going on. Look, the American people want to know the truth. They want the president to answer their questions. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. And we have a right as people to understand what the government is doing with our health care. I mean, this is a very serious issue.
There were 2 great questions. One was by the NRA guy, and what we just saw, how are we going to pay for this? And the other question was, why did you start attacking the insurance industry? And it was asked by a guy that worked for the insurance industry. Now, Elmendorf of the CBO said, hey, look, all this preventative care money we're going to spend, he says, quote, they find it's going to add costs.
Right. And the problem is, the president basically said, I only vilify the insurance companies because they're, quote, not constructive. They're not supporting my policies. And bottom line is he's not able to work with them, so he attacks them, and he's making them his bogeyman because he's unable to sell his plan.
But isn't this something we see, Tucker, a lot as we stand back and watch elections? Democrats, you know, we can predict with certainty every election year, Democrats will often run ads that divide this country on race lines, rich versus poor, old versus young. This seems to be a tried and true tactic. They've attacked Fox, Talk Radio, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity. Now it's the healthcare industry. They've attacked banks and big business. they always need somebody to hate, it seems.
Campaign politics is about, no one likes to say it, but it's about division, in my view, having covered a lot of campaigns. I think the question is, who do you make your enemies? And in the end, you need the insurance companies. Without them, you don't have a health care system. Obama's plan, it seems very clear to me, no one says this, will make it impossible for insurance companies to turn a profit.
No.
And so you have, at that point, two options. Either they go out of business, can't have that, or the federal government ends up supporting them through tax dollars. That's going to happen.
But even the CBO says, Sarah, that, look, tens of millions of people are going to be forced into that, quote, public option. If you believe the Heritage Foundation, which I think is more credible, they're predicting 88 million people will be forced out.
That's right. And if you force those people out, I mean, look, the administration has to answer these questions. We can't just go blindly into accepting a health care program that hasn't had any. I mean, look, we haven't divided the health care program up enough to understand what the future is going to bring about. And I think the American people right now are frustrated. I can't take the two sides of this, but what I can tell you this is, Sean, I'm getting emails every day from the American people, and they feel that they're not being listened to. These town hall meetings are very important.
But isn't it one thing to attack, the internet, Drudge, talk radio, Fox News, versus the American people? This is what makes this week very unique.
It's very sad, Sean, because we shouldn't be attacking the American people. We should be trying to produce consensus so that we can give people some health care reform that you as a conservative and me as a moderate can agree with.
But
so
they're not listening to you, Doug.
No,
you make
but
too
they
much
should,
sense.
and they should listen.
I don't even think you should be a Democrat anymore.
Well,
I think you should.
Sean, with all due respect, the Republican Party's got serious problems that I think both Tucker and Sarah would agree with. But bottom line, I think we all agree that we can do a better job with our health care system. We can.
I agree.
Can I make an obvious point? Yeah. In addition to everything everyone has said, it diminishes the president to attack the press, to attack Fox News, to attack websites or blogs or protesters. I mean, he's Barack Obama. He's the first Democrat since Jimmy Carter to win the popular vote. He's the most articulate president in my lifetime. And he's attacking Fox? Like, what is that?
That's unbelievable. All right, we're going to continue more with our Sleep In Sunday panel.